welcome, my dear.
Waiter.
I'd forgotten what a fine piece of country this was. You were very wise to choose Killeen, Sophie.
Well, now that you're ashore, Frederick, it's time you found somewhere and settled down yourself.
Yes. I wouldn't mind a house in the country.
And someone to share it with him, I dare say.
Well, here I am quite ready to make a foolish match. I shall marry as soon as I'm properly tempted.
Perhaps one of the Miss Musgroves may catch your eye.
Anybody between 15 and 30 may have me for the asking. A little beauty, a few smiles, a few compliments to the Navy, and I'm a lost man.
You must keep a cool head about it, Frederick.
No, Sophie, I shall not. I'm a sailor. I've had no society among women to make me nice. My heart may be caught by any pleasing young woman who comes my way.
Have you no special requirements? No features that particularly recommend themselves to you in a woman?
Well, yes, I want a strong mind with sweetness of manner.
Is that all?
It's not asking much.
No, but this is the woman I want. I shall, of course, put up with something a little inferior, but it must not be much.
You are a fool, Frederick.
Well, if I'm a fool, then I shall be a fool indeed. I have thought about marriage more than most men.
Have you, indeed? And where, pray, have you done it? On board ship?
There, and ashore.
I do not believe he has thought about it at all, Sophia.
Neither do I.
But I have, you know. I have.
Poor Richard, indeed. But young Master Musgrove was nothing but a thick-headed, unfeeling, unprofitable dick. He was moved about from ship to ship so much, Anne, because no captain would keep him.
That may be true, Mary, but I expect his mother loved him all the same.
Well, she does now when she misremembers him. But he was a very troublesome boy. Well, they sent him to sea because he was so stupid and unmanageable on land. Mrs. Musgrove has forgotten that, of course.
She may still have been fond of him.
Oh, Anne, if it wasn't that Dick was Charles's brother, I would have... Charles, where have you been?
Good Lord, haven't you finished breakfast yet? Louisa and Henrietta will be here in a minute.
Why?
They're bringing Captain Wentworth.
Oh, of course, your shooting party.
Oh, here they come. Look, they didn't give us much time.
Oh, well, quickly. We can't receive Captain Wentworth here over the breakfast things. I don't expect Mary's finished breakfast yet.
You're quite wrong. She's in the drawing room.
I hope it isn't inconvenient.
Of course not. Of course not. Come in.
Good morning. Morning. Good morning, Captain Wentworth.
Good morning, Mrs. Musgrove.
How very good of you to call.
I hope I'm not in the way at all.
Oh, of course not. I think you know my sister Anne.
A very charming house, Mrs. Musgrove.
It was a farmhouse, you know. My father did it over for us when we were married.
Is that so?
Do you like this new style of architecture, Captain Wentworth?
Very much, yes. It's very light and pleasant. Of course, the great house is more substantial.
Oh, I do wish Papa would modernise our house.
Oh, I can't agree. It would be a pity to alter something so old and beautiful.
Quite. I think my father is right to resist my sister's, clamour for modernisation.
Oh, you always agree with him, Charles.
Not always. But why are we talking about architecture when we could be out shooting? We must be on our way.
Oh, do wait a little longer, Charles.
No, we must be off. Come on, come on.
We shall see you again very soon.
It is over. It is over. The worst is over. I have seen him again after 8 years. It is almost a third of my life. But it seems little more than nothing.
Oh, isn't he charming, Anne? But didn't I tell you how delightful he is?
Yes, Mary, you did.
He's so courteous and thoughtful. Oh, I can hardly wait for this evening. But though he was so attentive to me, he wasn't very gallant by you, Anne.
No? He seemed gallant enough to me.
Henrietta asked him what he thought of you, and he said you were so altered he wouldn't have known you again.
Oh.
He's altered beyond his knowledge. I don't call that very gallant.
He has not altered. I would have known him anywhere. Or if he has changed, it is only to his advantage. He seemed the same Mr. Wentworth to me.
And a very agreeable one, too.
Oh, yes. He is that, certainly.
Do you mean there are cooks on board ship, Captain Wentworth?
Oh, no, Miss Louisa.
But surely you must have some...
No. No food, no cooks to dress it, no servants to wait, nothing. We do not even have knives and forks. There's no need for them, you see.
Oh, you're mocking us, I know it.
No, the life is very hard. We eat only when we put into some port.
But supposing... Oh, he is mocking us, Henrietta.
Not at all, I assure you. When we sailors go ashore, we eat as much as possible, because we never know when we'll have the chance to eat again.
Oh, Miss Anne, if it had pleased heaven to spare my poor son, I dare say he would have been just like Captain Wentworth by now.
I dare say he would, Mrs. Musgrove.
He was such a promising lad, and so good-natured.
Here we are, Henrietta. If Captain Wentworth won't be serious with us, we can find out for ourselves what ships he has commanded. The first was the Asp, I remember. Look up the Asp. Asp. A-S-S.
You won't find her in the Navy list.
What?
She was quite worn out. She's been broken up. I was the last man to command her.
Oh. Why?
Oh, she was barely fit for service even when I had her. Afterwards, they said she was good for home service for a year or two, but that was all.
Barely fit for service? And yet you were put in command of her? How was that?
Oh, the Admiralty amuse themselves now and again by sending a few hundred men to sea in an unseaworthy ship.
What?
Well, they have a great many men to find ships for, you know. And thousands of them might just as well go to the bottom as not.
Oh, no.
It is impossible for the Admiralty to distinguish the few who might be missed.
For what stuff these young fellows talk. Never was a better sloop than the Asp in her day.
Oh, but Admiral, Captain Wentworth says that she was barely fit for service.
Nonsense. For an old-built sloop, you would never see her equal. He was the lucky fellow to get her.
Surely if she was barely fit for
Ah, he knows very well there must have been 20 better men than he applying for her at the same time. He was a lucky fellow to get anything.
Well, there, Captain Wentworth.
I felt my luck, Admiral, I assure you. I was as well pleased with my appointment as you could wish. That was the year 6. I was very anxious at that time to be at sea. Very anxious indeed. I wanted to be doing something.
To be sure you did. What would a young fellow like you do ashore for half a year together? If a man has no wife, he soon wants to be afloat again.
Ooh, but you must have been vexed, Captain Wentworth, when you arrived on the Asp and found what an old thing they'd given you.
Oh, she was a dear old asp to me. She did what I wanted, and I knew she would.
What was that?
Well, I knew that we should either go to the bottom together, or she'd be the making of me.
And she was?
Oh, yes. I never had 2 days foul weather all the time I was at sea with her. And after taking enough privateers for it to be very entertaining, I had the good luck on my passage home the next autumn to fall in with a very French frigate I wanted.
So you took her?
Yes, and I brought her into Plymouth. Now, here's another instance of good luck. We had not been in the Sound 6 hours when a gale came up, which lasted 4 days and nights. Would have done for poor old Asp in half the time.
How terrifying.
Yes, 24 hours later, and I should have been no more than gallant Captain Wentworth in a small paragraph in the corner of a newspaper. Nobody would have thought much of me being lost in only a sloop.